What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for PlayPicks.com, joined by Matt Perrault. It is Super Bowl week. We are going to have a ton of content on this channel, a ton of different videos talking about this game this week. Unbelievable matchup we have in the Rams and the Patriots. But in this particular video, Mr. Perrault, we're going to talk about nothing other than the Patriots and just how the Patriots can win, and more important for us bettors, cover in this Super Bowl game here. We're not going to give our picks in this video. We're not going to do any of that stuff. You're going to have to hang around towards the end of the week. We will definitely get to that stuff. But we just want to give you a brief overview here of how this game could go in the favor of the Patriots and how they could cash the ticket should this be the team that you want to bet on. And full disclosure, you will try and hide your New England ties in this video.
I was going to pull out like a hat or a t-shirt or something and be like, see, I'm still, but yeah, I have to hide my Boston roots and my rooting interests for this one. But I will paint the picture for you as how the Patriots win this game, even without being a fan.
Yeah. So taking a look here, guys, of course, we're going to have tons and tons of things over here at PlayPicks. So this is just the homepage of PlayPicks. If you want to head over there, you already have an article going up by Nate Weitzer about some of the prop betting stuff. And of course, as you see on your screen right here, the lines are our sister site over there. Tons and tons of stuff going on there, talking about the lines getting to 3. And if they think they're going to continue to bob back and forth between 3 and 2.5, everything you need to know to bet on Super Bowl 53. If you're a new bettor, all the different things like that. So you can head to thelines.com. You can head to playpicks.com and take a look at all that stuff. And if you are a new bettor, just for the Super Bowl, this ends at kickoff of the Super Bowl, guys. $100 in free bets over at DraftKings. You deposit $5. With that $5, you get 10 $10 bets for free just by depositing $5 by using our link below. Click on the link below in the description, and you will not have to do anything other than deposit $5, and you will get 10 $10 bets for free for putting $5 in your account. You can't get any better than that. So take advantage of it. Again, it goes away at kickoff on the Super Bowl. So certainly something that you want to take advantage of there. Speaking of DraftKings, Mr. Perrault, let's go ahead and we'll pop into DraftKings right here. They are currently at this Patriots team at -2.5. You can find twos out there. If we flip over to FanDuel, as you see on your screen right here, FanDuel is at 2 right now. So let's just go with 2.5 as kind of the prevailing lines that are out there. BetStars sitting right now, Patriots 2.5. And then if we look at Caesars online, also Patriots 2.5. So 2.5 prevailing, unless you want to head over to FanDuel where you can get 2. So the 2019 Patriots, they were 11-7 against the spread. They covered 60% of the time when they were the favorites in games so far this year. So pretty good cover percentage for this team. Right now, as we sit, they are getting about 80% of the bets and 80% of the money as we sit right here. We'll just give a little bit of background here. Of course, this number opened in favor of the Rams at a lot of shops out there and quickly moved to the Patriots.
Yeah, I think one of the surprising factors is from a power rating standpoint, the Rams should be favored in this game. I mean, the Patriots, look at their regular season, their playoffs. I mean, beating the Saints versus beating the Chiefs, you can argue which win is more impressive. But in terms of regular season, I mean, the Rams had a much better regular season than the Patriots did. So I think Rams -1 was the right number to open. I think what surprised some people is the amount of money that came in immediately and flipped the number and continued to flip the number now heading up to what we'll talk about here, 2.5 or 3, where this number is going to finally close. But tons of money on the Patriot right now, and the books know all they got to do is go to 3 and they're going to get Rams money. So it's a great spot right now for the books to be in.
So taking a look at DraftKings, one of the things you can do, you can click on this stats button right here, which I don't know how many of you are taking advantage of that when you do play over there, but they come with all kinds of actually pretty interesting statistics here. I mean, if you're into the trend stuff, I'm not really, but they have all that. But you can click on stats right here. And one of the other things I like to do is there's this betting trends button on here, and you can actually track the movement of the line and of the total right here. So if you want to see, as you can see, we can see where this thing started and where it has ended up over the last, and you can see the line move very, very quickly right there. And then you can see this total opening up at 57.5 and falling all the way to where it sits right now at 56. If you are looking to get that done over there with the Patriots. But let's talk about this Patriots team, Matt. They were, sixth in pace in the league, so they played a pretty rapid pace here, fifth in points per game, averaging 27.3 points per game on the season, second in time of possession. So what you're seeing here with this Patriots team, and I think we saw this on some of the opening drives, and certainly one of the opening, certainly the drive there to close it out last week, was they're ball hog. I mean, I think that you don't really realize how much this team, one, wants to run the ball, two, wants to possess the ball and not give the ball back to the other team, and three, just how they utilize the clock.
Well, the one thing that everyone has to realize from a Patriot perspective, and if you're a Patriot fan, this is, this, but the Patriots look at the games before Thanksgiving and after Thanksgiving very differently. The games before Thanksgiving, they're trying to figure out who they are, what they want to do. The games after Thanksgiving are who they are. And after Thanksgiving, they have run the ball with Sony Michel a ton. They've used James White in the passing attack. And with or without Josh Gordon, they really haven't thrown the ball vertically. They are right now a old-fashioned power football team trying to rely on keeping the football away from their opponents, because everyone right now at this time of the year, everyone has an explosive offense. The Chiefs did, the Rams do. They want to keep the football and possess it as much as possible, which is really weird because you mentioned their pace. A lot of that count came from earlier in the year when they were going into no huddles and they were trying to get the score into the 30s because their defense was horrible. So this is a different type of Patriot team than the numbers really indicate.
Fourth in total yards, averaging 393.4 yards per game. That was fifth in the NFL. Third, as we're talking about with this team that wants to possess the ball, third in rush attempts in the entire NFL. They ran a rushing play, seventh most of the percentage of the plays that they ran in all of the NFL. And so, I mean, you can see that this team, it doesn't really feel like it. And I think maybe that's just because they don't have the one marquee back. And like you said, there has been this rotation. Of course, they get Burkhead involved, they get White involved. They get, and I think maybe that kind of skews where you realize how much they actually do run the football. But just because it's a committee doesn't mean that they're running the ball any less than some of these teams that have these bell cow backs.
No, and look at the first two drives versus the Chargers and the Chiefs. That was unlike any Patriot team we had seen this season. That was two drives, both over 7 minutes, where they just took the football and ran it right down the throats of their opponents. That's not a Patriot football team circa, since 2007. We haven't seen the Patriots run this type of offense, but they have to now, and their offensive line's healthy. That's the biggest factor here, is that the Patriots across the board are healthy, but their offensive line is healthy, and they're coming off the ball, opening up big holes for the running backs. And I think if they get the ball, we'll see how the coin flip goes, but if they get the ball first, I think we're going to see a very similar type of offensive scheme for the Patriots, at least early on, establish the run and then open up off of it.
Yeah, we'll have a prop betting spectacular show as well, but one of the prop bets is, will there be a score in the first 5 minutes of the game? And if the Patriots get a hold of the ball, I would almost bet the no on that, because we've seen these drives, long, methodical drives that they like to put together. And certainly if you feel that they're lucky and going to get the ball first in this game, then it's certainly something you want to look at there. I think one of the statistics when we're talking about how they win this game and how they cover in this game would be this offensive line has been absolutely wonderful towards the latter half of the season, certainly in the postseason here. Pro Football Focus grades all the units here. 12th rated run blocking unit in the entire NFL, 5th rated pass blocking unit in the entire NFL. They have not allowed a sack this entire postseason of Tom Brady. And if you're going to allow Brady, and I know people want to talk about how slow he is, and yeah, he's slow. He is, or whatever. He's not avoiding, some of these sacks and things like that, like some of these younger, more athletic quarterbacks. But if he's throwing out of clean pockets all the time, it doesn't matter. He doesn't have to do that.
Right. And that's Brady put a picture on Instagram after the game of his jersey from the game against Kansas City, and there wasn't a grass stain on it. Yeah. So he was very proud of his offensive line keeping him upright. And in this game, Aaron Donald, Michael Brockers, and Ndamukong Suh, this is the best defensive line in the NFL.
Dante Fowler.
Fowler.
Yeah.
These guys are going to have to play at their best to keep Brady upright.
Yeah, I think what we're going to be seeing here is a lot of short and quick passes like we saw before. And I think if they let him continue to do that, one of the things Tom Brady had done very, very well all year long, he was above the league average in every single type of throw other than vertical back shoulder throws that Pro Football Focus grades. So, they go in and they chart every throw that quarterbacks make. He was above the league average in completion percentage in 7 of 8 of the throws that they chart. Brady, I know everybody wants to keep writing him off and say he's lost a step. And sure, sure. I mean, there might be a little thing here and there that he can't do now that he could have done 5 years ago, but he's still been very, very good. Clean pocket passer rating of 105.3, and even under pressure, 71.2. That's a vast difference of what Jared Goff has, and we'll talk about the Rams in another video, so be sure and stick around for that. But 20-plus yard passes downfield, a 104.1 rating, and then play action passes, a 107 rating. So this notion that Tom Brady is falling off a cliff here, I think it's a narrative people made up in their head.
I would agree with you. And one thing to watch early in this game, the reason why the Cowboys really couldn't run the football against a defensive line that gave up about 4.8 yards per rush in the regular season is that they played zone behind it. If you play zone against the Patriots, ask the Pittsburgh Steelers what happens when you play zone against the Patriots. The Steelers every year, that's just their cover 2 zone. That's how they always play it. Brady has some of the best numbers in the NFL against the Steelers defense. Every time he plays them, he lights them up. So if Wade Phillips is going to play zone like he did so far in the playoffs to help the run defense and do run blitzes, Brady's going to pick them apart. And Philip Dorsett and guys like Chris Hogan, players you don't hear a lot about, are going to have big, big games because they're going to set up inside the zone, camp out, and move the chains. And the Patriots are great at that. So watch early how the defensive plays in the secondary for the Rams, whether they'll be aggressive and play man-to-man or go and fall back into a zone to stop the run.
One of the things that we look at is the people are going to be talking about a lot is just this Patriots defense here. 16th overall DVOA, 7th overall actually graded by Pro Football Focus. So they liked what they saw from this defense here. Gave up 20.3 points per game. That was actually really good. Only 7th. That was 7th in the NFL here. Listen, they did give up yards, but a lot of teams, when they play from ahead, give up yards. It's just kind of the way that it goes. Teams are playing from behind. They're going for it on 4th down. They're throwing the ball vertically downfield because they're playing catch up. So yeah, some of these teams that are always playing from ahead do give up a lot of yards. So I think there's a little bit of misleading when we kind of look at like yards per game allowed. They were 17th in the league, but again, playing from out ahead a lot of times.
Well, look, the bend don't break defense for the Patriots. Brian Flores is the quote unquote defensive coordinator. He's a linebacker coach who calls the plays on defense, but that's what they do. And between the 20s, they let you move up and down the field. But the Patriots only gave up 0.5 rushing touchdowns per game in the regular season. They did not give up rushing touchdowns, and they're tough to score on. They want you to kick field goals. And if the Rams are kicking field goals when they get in the red zone, they're not going to win this game. So that's another key you want to look at. How many times are the Rams going into the red zone and coming away with a field goal versus a touchdown?
So let's take a look here at how we think that this is going to play out if you are wanting to bet the New England Patriots. Let's say that you're getting them at 2.5, whatever it might be. First and foremost, I would say if you want to bet the Patriots and you want to take just any and all risk out of it, I would think about betting the money line like closer to kickoff. I mean, like you said, I think that this is a situation where the Rams are going to get that late money. We sit here taping this on Tuesday afternoon. The guys from LA that are going to drive to Vegas have not made it over here yet. They'll probably get here on Thursday. The people who are flying into town to do the Super Bowl, they're not going to get here till Thursday or Friday. The people that don't want to bet on the Patriots, who hate the Patriots, those people aren't here yet. Those people haven't made it down to Jersey or to Mississippi or these other jurisdictions and stuff. And what we've typically seen in these big solo games and national championship games, we've seen it in Super Bowls historically, is the fact that these casual bettors want to get a return for more than they are laying down on the counter. And we see these money line dog bets happen a ton. And what that does is it drives down the money line price on the favorite. And I think, look, we're looking at on your screen right now, the Patriots are 145 at Caesars. The Patriots are 133 actually at BetStars, so not bad there. 132 over at FanDuel, and then here at DraftKings looking at 134. I think we could see 130s, maybe even 125s by the time this kicks off here. And again, that just takes the whole weirdness of any sort of point spread thing out of play. When it comes down to it, you're going to be paying 110, 112, something, 120, some of these 2.5s are juiced anyway. I feel like you might as well just play the money line and then just take the spread completely out of play.
It's not a bad move at all. I mean, look, the number flipped so quickly where the Rams were -1 and then all the Patriot money came in. I think if you like it and you want to play the line, go get the 2 at FanDuel. I mean, I think that's a great opportunity right there to avoid the hook and just to get to 2 points. I mean, a couple things to watch from a Patriot perspective when it comes to how these games have gone. The Patriots have only scored 3 points in the first quarter of their 8 Super Bowls with Tom Brady. That was 3 points last year against the Eagles. They don't come out and really score quickly. So if the Patriots get a lead in the first quarter, I think you're going to feel pretty good about where you are with the Patriots, and maybe that 2.5 or 2 point line, you're okay with laying that if you think that's going to happen. But this is going to be a tight football game. So I don't think it's a bad move either to take away, take out the hooks, take out the 1.5, 2.5 point number and just say Patriots win the game and maybe they win it by 2 or 1 and you're happy. And you mentioned the Rams money. I mean, that's one way. Maybe you wait on the money line a little bit to see how much Rams money comes in and how much better of a price can you get on the money line where maybe you're not having to pay that much juice.
Yeah. And so let's just, how we think that this is going to be a solid bet on the Patriots here. I mean, one, we mentioned keeping Tom Brady clean. He has an unbelievable success rate when he is throwing from a clean pocket so far this season. He has not shown any sort of decline when he is throwing from a clean pocket. And this offensive line has played really, really well. And one of the things that I think that they can do, Matt, is to keep these guys at bay is they run that screen game and that underneath game so incredibly well. And I think that whenever you have Bill Belichick, who's going to have watched tape over the last 2 weeks and figured out, like you mentioned, all those guys, Sue and Donald and Fowler and all these guys that are going to be coming after Tom Brady. Well, maybe let's make them think twice about just bull rushing every time we drop back, because we're just going to dump it right over the top of their head to a James White or a Rex Burkhead. I think if they can have a successful kind of underneath/screen game, certainly it works really in the advantage of the Patriots in this game.
Aqib Talib and Marcus Peters are 2 dynamic, really good cornerbacks. The problem for them is, who do they guard? Because Julian Edelman is going to be in the slot, and that means mostly Nickel Roby-Coleman, Mr. I don't do pass interference, is going to be on him, and that's not a good matchup. And then Gronkowski, when he goes out wide, who are you putting on Gronkowski? Are you going to put Aqib Talib on him? Well, if that happens, you may open up for somebody else like a Hogan or another receiver coming in lining up on the outside. So I don't know. The defensive lineup for the Rams, I think, is going to be problematic. They don't match up all that well with the Patriots when it comes to some of the things they like to do. And if the Patriots can establish the run at all, I think that's going to blow up this defensive scheme for the Rams and make their life really difficult. I mean, the Rams defense is really good, don't get me wrong, but there are some matchups there that really do favor the Patriots on their offense.
One of the other ways I think that this really leans towards the favor of the Patriots, if you want to bet the Patriots in this game, would be the fact that the Patriots run one of the highest percentages of man defense and man coverage in the entire league. And one of the things that the Rams have had so much success on is the play action game. And if you know anything about how that works, that really helps suck up the defense when you're playing zone, because they're watching the quarterback and they're watching what's going on. But if you're playing man, you don't see that fake anyway that the quarterback is doing. You're not seeing Jared Goff fake it to Todd Gurley or to CJ Anderson or whatever, that they've had so much success with these play action passes, because you're turned and you're guarding the guy completely down the field here. And I think that this Rams offense, where they had just destroyed people with all this play action all year long, with the amount of man coverage that the Patriots defense plays, I think that really neutralizes a big part of this Rams offense.
Yeah, there were 2 injuries last year for the Patriots, one on offense, one on defense. The defense was Dante Hightower not being there, the captain of that defense for the Patriots against the Eagles. The other was Julian Edelman, Tom Brady's binky, who wasn't on offense for the Patriots. They had Danny Amendola, but he didn't have Edelman against the Eagles. Now having Hightower back is a really big deal for this defense, putting everybody in the right place, making sure that everyone's assignments are taken care of. And then you look at some of the matchups. Cooper Kupp not being in this game is significant. The numbers for Jared Goff with Cooper Kupp to without him are significant. He was, as Edelman is Brady's binky, Cooper Kupp was the binky for Jared Goff. And Todd Gurley and CJ Anderson, that everyone says, what will Belichick take away? I think he's going to say, like last year, make the quarterback beat me. And last year, Nick Foles scored 41 points, tip of the cap, the Eagles won it. I think the same thing's happening here. I think Todd Gurley has to be taken out and CJ Anderson has to be taken out, and you make him throw the football and you hope to cause mistakes and turnovers, because Goff's been turnover prone. So that I think how the Patriots are going to play this. And I think it does play into their hands a little bit. Their secondary has been much better than people realize.
So guys, stick around for this channel. We're going to have a Rams breakdown. If you think that the Rams are going to win, we're going to try to break down how the Rams get it done. We're going to have a complete breakdown of the total later in the week. We're going to have our complete rundown of how we think this game is going to go. A spectacular show with not only me and Peralt, but also with Brett Colson joining us as well. We're going to have a 3-man roundtable with that. So tons and tons of awesome stuff that we've got going on here. Again, at the lines, be sure and head over to the lines and be sure and take in all the articles over at Play Picks as well. Hit that subscribe button down below. Talk to us in the comments and take advantage of these offers that we have, guys. Super Bowl week, it's here. For Matt Peralt, Matt Brown, stick around.